You might want to stay around to the end of this video if you're thinking about buying a K2 Plus. Even if you're planning on it, even if you have a little inkling that you might want to buy one at some point in the future, you're going to want to watch this video, and I'm going to catch you up so you don't have to go back and watch all my other videos about all the pain I've been going through with it. In the first couple of videos, I set the K2 Plus up, and the gist of my commentary on the whole thing was machine good, slicer bad. Machine good, firmware bad. Machine good, Creality doing Creality thing. This is what Creality has been known for since the dawn of time. Getting it to the 1 yard line and then going, that's good enough, and then simply walking away. Well, in my case, I got the K2 Plus. I bought it with my own money, and this is why I think you need to watch this video. It's literally the only review on YouTube that I've seen that I'm going to tell you exactly what's happening, why it's happening, and why I think you should or should not buy it, and what other alternatives do you have. I am not paid by Creality. I have not gotten a free machine. This is my own opinion. I'm not salty at them. I'm not mad at them. I've had like 2 Creality machines my whole life, and I've been doing this for almost a decade now. So I just want to put that out there. This is probably the one review that you can trust. And this is a follow-up to the other videos, as I mentioned before. So again, I just recap, Creality machine good, slicer bad. However, we've got new developments. For some reason, the last firmware update I did solved most of my issues. The laggy screen, I had an issue where I could not stop the print. That seems to mostly have been remedied, I guess, and has gone away. Other than that, it's been running pretty good. However, there's 2 major things I got that still are going on that I can't figure out, and this is how I've gotten around them. The first layer. If you watch all the influencers, they talk about the perfect first layer. Well, I'm here to tell you, this machine does not have that. It does not exist. When you're coming from a Bamboo, for example, or an FL Sun printer, what is a good first layer? It's not good. It's like good 1 minute and then bad the next. And if you read the Reddit forums, if you read all of the forums, you will see the sentiment replaying again and again and again. People are having first layer issues. People can't get help from Creality, so they're going to little measures like trying to shim the bed and whatever. Well, I'm going to tell you right now what I did to resolve the issue, and it's not a perfect solution, but it does seem to work. I think when you have first layer issues, you have a tendency to want to calibrate all the time. It's just a normal thing. You go, oh, last time I had a bad print or a failed print, calibrate, 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 calibrate. Well, let me tell you, I have found that just makes things worse. So I took a note from the old FL Sun book, which is you set it once and forget it and never bed level again. So in the case of the K2 Plus, I was doing the same thing. I kept doing a bed leveling before every print. In fact, I was forcing myself to use Creality print, torturing myself using Creality print, so that I could just keep doing the calibrate as I sent the print to the printer. Well, I just kept finding out, like, one time it's good, one time it's not. One time it's great, one time it's not. The flow calibrations always look good. The purge line always looks good. Get to the print, boom, bad. Don't know why. Seems hit or miss. I see the problem, I try to fix the problem. The next time it doesn't do it. So there's really no rhyme or reason to it, and I don't understand what's causing it. So that's one issue. I just don't calibrate. I calibrated one time. I made sure the nozzle was clean. I made sure the bed was clean. I set it up as good as I could set it up, and then I heated the bed. I heat soaked the printer mildly. I set it to 65 degrees, and then I did a bed calibration and let it run its routine. Since then, I just don't calibrate anymore. I just keep printing on that same mesh over and over again, as it probably should be, and it seems to be working just fine. It's still not a perfect layer, not like by FL Sun standard, not by Bamboo standards, but it's really, really, really close. The second issue, I'm going to insert a video here that I uploaded to TikTok and I uploaded to X, and this printer is squeaking like crazy. It sounds like a pack of mice are living in it. It is so loud and such like the perfect pitch. I can hear it in all corners of my house. It's absolutely the most annoying thing I've ever seen. So naturally, I try to fix it. I've built many Core XY printers, And I know what causes this, right? Bad pulley bearings, maybe misaligned belts, the etc. So I start tearing into the printer. I start taking it all apart. I'm looking around. I see on the forums, Creality's recommending that you lube the pulleys. Well, you can't lube pulleys. They got sealed bearings, Creality. Putting a little bit of grease on there, unless it's the pin or the bolt that's causing the squeaking. So I took all my common knowledge and threw it out the window. I got some 3-in-1 grease. I put little drops on it, and surprisingly, it did help. It did not fix it, but it did help. So it made it a little bit less, but not perfect. So I turned the motors off and I started moving it around, and I can hear it. It's hard to tell inside the build volume where it's coming from because there's so many resonant frequencies in there. And when you're talking about belts and pulleys, it moves the sound all around. So I got the printer, started moving it and putting my ear next to it, ear next to it, ear next to it, until I finally found out where it was. It was the back left pulley. And so I started greasing that. I oiled that. Didn't make a difference. I cleaned the pulleys. I saw somebody saying that Creality recommended that you make sure that there's no gunk stuck to the pulley. I did that. Made no difference. Still the same. There's like a perfect squeak when it goes back or crisscross from front left to back right. I can hear. So I keep greasing bearings, cleaning pulleys, checking the belts. Nothing seems to be obvious to me at this point. And the thing that pisses me off about this printer that I already don't like is that nothing is easy to get to. Even greasing lubing the pulleys is a pain in the ass. Everything's stacked inside of injection molded plastic, and you just can't get to it. So I got it on a needle and started sticking the little drop of oil on top of the bearing. It's literally the best I could do. Again, it helped a little bit, but it didn't fix the issue. So yesterday at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm listening to it print, and I just can't take it anymore. It's absolutely driving me nuts, like that Homer Simpson episode of The Shining, right? I just cannot stand it anymore. So I stopped the print, I flipped the thing around, and I'm pissed. And I'm like, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. I know it's in the back left corner. I got to get to it. So I take all the back panel off, which, by the way, Creality, why is there 4 different types of screws to take the back panel off? It's so fucking annoying. So I take all the screws out, not thinking, I'm not paying attention, obviously, because why would there be 4 types of screws? There's 4 types of fucking screws. It makes no sense at all. There's long ones, short ones, coarse ones, fine ones. I don't fucking know. And I finally get into the crux of it, and I start looking around. Start moving the tool head around, moving the gantry around, and I can hear the noise. And as I get closer and closer, I realize what it is. It's the automatic belt tensioning that, frankly, blew my mind away. I never seen a printer with this system before, and I don't think any printer has it on the marketplace. It's definitely a cool feature if it works, which I think it does. It seems to work. But yeah, it's squeaking like crazy. So I think, I got you. So I take some grease and I put it down over the bearing. I know it doesn't really do much, but it seemed to work in the other things. So a little bit of grease on top, and it kind of seems like it made a bit of a difference. So I checked the other one while I had the back panel off. There's also pulleys in the back. I think there's the stacks you can see from inside the build volume. And then on the back side, there's another stack of pulleys that goes around to the belt tensioners, which also have pulleys on it. This thing must have, dozens of pulleys on it. There's so many pulleys in the system. It's crazy. But anyway, so I go back and I look and I get to every little thing I can. I'm trying to lubricate as much as I can. I'm checking the belt. I can see some wear on the belt, on the tensioner. The tensioner is just kind of flopping around. It's kind of like a alternator belt tensioner in a car, if you know what I mean. But it's not perfect. It's kind of got some slop in it. And then I notice on all the pulleys, they got some slop in them. Creality, that's not how Core XYs are supposed to be. You're supposed to use shims, fine machined shims to get the bearing stacks or get the pulleys exactly where they need to be so that your belts stay in alignment. These pulleys, I can take a screwdriver and go clip, 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 like 3 millimeters, 2 millimeters. I don't know if it's just my printer or if they're all built that way, but I've never seen a Core XY built like that. In fact, even in 3D printed Core XYs, they said you get machined shims, not washers, but machined shims to go in and make sure that those pulley stacks, or that the pulley is stacked perfectly with the belt. I don't see any major belt wear, but I have a suspicion that this is where some of the sound is coming from, for sure. I think it's a pulley, and I think it's the belt. So I get done lubing, greasing, checking, cleaning all the pulleys. I put it all back together, start a print. It's quiet for like 5 minutes, and slowly but surely, it's got to be a belt that is just a little bit rubbing on a pulley somewhere, and it's just getting louder and louder and louder. And my only thought process at this point is that at some point, either whatever is squeaking is going to give, the belt's going to wear into its path, or my fucking wife's going to leave me for good. Outside of that, I don't have a lot of complaints. It prints really good. It seems reliable. Again, the machine seems fantastic. It's just that noise is driving me nuts, and the slicer sucks. I'm not going to keep bringing it up. I gave up on it. They're not going to fix it. We're fucked. It is what it is. I have a CFS coming because I'm a fucking idiot. I bought a CFS off of Amazon, and I don't want it because I know I'm going to have to use Creality Print to use it. And with the state of Creality Print, I know I'm going to fucking hate it. I just know that I'm going to hate it. But whatever. I bought it for content reasons. So you're welcome. Things that I have printed that are very successful, like this is a can cup koozie that I make and sell on Etsy. And, you know, I mean, this is carbon fiber PLA, so it's not a really good test, but it looks fantastic. So this is a waste basket that I printed, and it's a log file, obviously. I made this in Blender. Everything I've printed on this so far, the outside quality has been fantastic, so I'm not too worried about that. But I mean, just look at this behemoth. This thing is absolutely massive. Speaking of first layers, you can see this first layer was not absolutely perfect. There was some rippling in it, which tells me it's a little too low. But again, when I calibrate, it seems to get worse, not better. So I've learned I just deal with a little bit of this. As long as it doesn't get too crazy, it's not the end of the world. Now, this is another design that I did. This is an Art Deco garbage can that I designed that has a built-in print-in-place model that lifts the lid up like this. And this, too, came out nearly perfect. The only part of it that did not turn out perfect is the bridging. There was supposed to be bridging there first before the infill, but it pretty much all failed and I had to rip it out. Prints down on its back, laying on its back, and you can see this is perfect. This does not get any better. This first layer from start to finish, top to bottom, was absolutely perfect in every single way. And these prints were back to back. I literally changed the filament and I went from this print right here to this print right here. And this print had a couple little first layer issues. This print had nothing. Again, I didn't recalibrate, and I suggest you don't either. Once you get the calibration done as good as you can get it, just leave it alone unless you have any major issues. But I would like to mention, if you're a big creator and you've done a review on this printer and you've said that you're getting perfect first layers, I would love for you to tell me if that's actually true or not, because I think Creality is telling people to say that like as a marketing feature, like it's got this, it's got that. Oh, and by the way, the perfect first layer every time, load cell. Load cell does not mean you get perfect first layers every time. That is just not how this works. So over here is the printer. Here's the toolkit that I keep taking it apart with. I've taken it apart 3 times now, once for content reasons and the last 2 times to try to nail down this belt issue. You can see little globs of grease and stuff everywhere. Well, that is because I am trying to find out where the squeak is. Let me put my microphone in here. Absolutely infuriating. And I don't know what to do to fix it. I have lubricated everything. I've checked everything. I don't see excess wear on the belt edges in the front or the back. Everything seems square. But yeah, all the pulleys are lubricated. Again, I think these pulleys back here are very loose, but I just think it's rubbing just on the bare edge of the belt back somewhere. Not enough to cause a problem with the belt, but enough that it's creating squeaky noises. I don't know. But I got to take it in with Creality. They're going to get back to me as soon as their vacation's over, I'm sure, which is absolutely fucking infuriating. But we'll see what happens. If they can't solve this problem, I cannot keep this printer. I will sell it for $500 and be done with it. So I got it for content reasons. I got some content out of it. Not the content I thought I was going to make, but here we are. So anyways, that's your great update. Would I recommend this printer today? For the price of $12.99, it's a great printer. Is it worth $12.99 when you could get a Bamboo? Blah. You could get a Bamboo with an AMS for $12.99 all day long and twice on Sunday. I'm going to say this. Probably not. It's a good printer and it prints good. The bones are here of a great printer. Is it worth $14.99 with the AMS or the CFS? I'm not really sure yet. We're going to find out. But in the meantime, I'm going to say, unless you need a big build volume, I would steer clear. The slicer sucks. The squeaking sucks. The customer service sucks. I don't know. Oh, and let me tell you one other annoying thing. So every time the printer shuts off and turns back on, I go to my desk to send a print to it. You have to reset, you have to reattach it to the Wi-Fi every fucking time. Shut the print off, it drops the internet. It will not reconnect to the internet on its own. Creality, that's some bullshit. That is some bullshit. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, the print quality is good, all that stuff. It's just minor little stuff like this that is driving me crazy. And I don't know. I guess I either get Creality to try to fix it. I can't ship it back. I don't have the box anymore. I have no interest in shipping this printer fucking anywhere. But I don't know. Maybe Matter Hackers will help me. I don't know. If they sent me a replacement, I would certainly repackage it and send it back. But yeah, this squeaking, it seems to be a problem. If you go in the groups, lots of people are having these issues. It's not just me. So it's a tough sell at $12.99 with the squeaking issue, the laggy screen issue, the bad slicer. I mean, it does do its intended purpose good. It does print well, and it's mostly, I'm going to say 98% reliable. And so those are good things. It can do high temp filaments because of the heated enclosure. So that's also a good thing. It's aesthetically pleasing. That's also a good thing. I mean, I like 98% love this fucking thing. But then there's like that 2%. It's like for $12.99, it's a lot of money to ask for a printer that I've already had to take apart. I've had to take the tool head apart like 3 times because of clogging, because of a bad unload macro. And then I've had to take the back off 3 times, 1 for content and 2 to try to figure out what the squeak is. And apparently I still don't have it fixed. So, fuck, I don't know. And my biggest fear is Creality's going to come back and say, oh, we'll send you new pulleys. We'll send you new pulleys. You can put new pulleys in. Listen, Creality, $12.99, dog. I don't want to put new fucking pulleys in. Send me a new machine that doesn't squeak. And when I get one that doesn't squeak, I'll be happy and I'll keep it. But I cannot stand this noise forever. My wife is irritated. I'm irritated. And I can't leave it printing because I can hear it when I'm laying in fucking bed. I can hear this fucking printer. It's absolutely infuriating. It's not okay. And for that, I'm going to say, if you got the money and you need the build volume, this is a great printer for you. If you can deal with the little issues, this is a great printer for you. If you're expecting it to be a large Bamboo, it is not. Bamboo would have already gotten back to me. Chinese New Year or not, be damned. I promise you that. They have not great customer service either, but they do get back to me quick. So anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Like, share, and follow. Let me know down in the comments. Do you disagree with me? Am I just a Bamboo fanboy? Am I just a Creality hater? Let me know down in the comments. Give me your worst. And I'll see you guys on the next one.